Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, let's get ready for another One-Eye Computer Guy tutorial. My name is Jer Bear. Today we're looking at the Dell Inspiron 3567. You're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, a plastic pry tool, and a pair of curved tweezers. Also about 10 minutes of your time, and the difficulty level is moderate. As with anything, before we start, go ahead and remove any power sources and batteries from the laptop. We're going to begin by removing the bezel around the touch screen. Using the plastic pry tool, dig into the side, making sure not to hit the LCD. Work your way around the bezel until you get to the hinges on either side. Then, using the curved end of the tweezers, insert them into the hinge socket, allow them to separate, and then use a lever action, applying equal and even force to pry it off of the plastic teeth that hold it into place to reveal the naked display. At this point, there are 4 screws holding the display into place. Removing those will allow the screen to fall and reveal the connector in the back. It is important to note that you should take gentle care with the LCD connector. It has a latching system over the connector base itself. Remove that by pulling up and then back using even force. And then the same holds true when applying the new one. Use the connector to latch it forward and then pull on even, or you could risk damaging the new screen. The replacement goes up much like the original with screws on all 4 sides. The bezel is literally a snap. You can work your way around the edges, snapping it into place until you get to the hinges on either side. At that point, you may need to close the laptop in order to ensure proper connection. All in all, you can hit the power button, and chances are, if you see the Dell logo, you did a pretty good job. And now for the rest of the story, the complete disassembly of the Dell Inspiron 3567. As always, make sure, if you can, to remove the battery and unplug any and all power supplies to reduce the risk of shock. There are a number of screws on the bottom of the case, including the DVD-ROM drive door. Remove that and slide the DVD-ROM out. Underneath the DVD-ROM, you'll see there are a series of 3 different color screws. Keep those separate with the DVD drive. We'll need those for later when we're replacing the drive door. Much like other Dells of its vintage, you have to remove the keyboard in order to properly remove the case bottom from the computer. We're going to do that using a plastic pry tool and working on the claw teeth that hold the keyboard into place. You can use 2 tools to do this. You can often push the tooth back while working the pry tool underneath and working it all the way across. Once that is done, slide up on the keyboard, but don't pull. It's got a connector underneath that needs to be released. You do so by lifting up on the black tab. Careful, those are hard to replace if they do come off. Once that is done, slide the ribbon cable backwards and it should free the keyboard. Inside the computer, there are a number of visible screws. Those are all going to need to be removed in order to get the bottom off. You can do those one at a time until they are completely out. They're the same size as the ones on the bottom, so it's not necessary to keep them separate. Also, be sure to remove any and all ribbon connectors. Once that is done, use your plastic pry tool, slide around the edges, and the case bottom comes off pretty easily. Once inside, you can see the hard drive, CPU, the RAM, and the keyboard tray in the picture here. Looking at the hard drive in the bottom left, you can see that the hard drive itself is connected via a ribbon cable and held into place by a few screws on a caddy. First things first, remove the ribbon cable that connects the hard drive to the motherboard and remove the connector. It should come right off of the hard drive without too much effort there. Follow these steps in reverse to put your Dell Inspiron 3567 back together. We hope you enjoyed this video from One-Eye Computer Guy. Stay tuned for more. Thank you.